everyone, and welcome back to Animation Pilgrimage, the show where Sean and I take a look at every single theatrically released animated film in chronological order. I am Tennille.
And I'm Sean. And unfortunately, we are not going to be watching Hubley's film Everyone Rides the Carousel because it was a TV film.
Hubley, why? Why? We'll have to watch it on our own time.
Yeah, but it won't be covered here on the show. But you know what? We did still watch a charming movie today.
We did!
We watched Petete and Trapito from Garcia Ferre in Argentina. This is a Spanish-speaking movie, and I looked it up, so I know it's Spanish this time. I know people have given me flack in the past for saying the wrong language for a particular country, which is fair. I should look at this information and know it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Argentina, and they speak Spanish.
Yes. Now, it's called Petete and Trapito, but it's also called Trapito.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if the version we watched is some kind of re-release, or if it was originally like that. Spoiler warning, there was not a lot of info about this film. Basically, all I could find on it was that it was a film made in Argentina by Manuel Garcia Ferrer, and he was a animation director and cartoonist in Argentina. And Petete is another character of his, so I can only assume, this is just me speculating here, that Petete was a character who would often introduce things in like TV shows, because I saw that he did TV shows as well, but I didn't see any TV shows that were just like Petetes or anything like that. So I'm wondering like if this is more of a
Mickey Mouse type character where
or
I
was thinking like Jiminy Cricket, when Jiminy Cricket does like introductions to things.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, this movie had big Pinocchio vibes.
Yeah. It did, definitely.
Yeah. And that's not a slam at the movie. This was actually a really charming film.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's really all I could find history-wise for this film, which seems too bad. This animator, Manuel Garcia Ferrer, seems to have created quite a few things over the course of his life. He died in 2013 and was creating stuff until like the 2000s. So I'm interested to see if he'll come back up again in Animation Pilgrimage, but I'm also not sure because it also looks like he did a lot of TV stuff. And who knows like what the availability of these
Argentinian films
will be for us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I even tried looking on trying to look up anything on this guy on Wikipedia and like translating it directly from Spanish to see if I could find anything else, but they seem to just literally be Spanish translations of the English pages. So if any of our viewers knows more about this director or this movie, we would love to hear about it in the comments below. Anyway, let's talk about the film.
Yes. So, the plot summary is Petete is a small puppet, and it gives us a lot of... It introduces the film to us. I think it's a duck. I'm not sure.
It's a penguin.
It's a penguin?
Yes.
Okay.
These are very well animated stop-motion segments here at the beginning, by the way.
I thought it was a puppet.
Oh, it might just be a puppet.
I think it's a puppet. It's not... I don't think it's stop motion.
Yeah, because it does show the kids in the frame with it at the same time.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, but anyways, this puppet gives us the history of man and how they...
This is an odd segue. Okay.
They roamed for a while, and then they actually started growing crops, and then animals ate their crops, so they invented scarecrows.
I want to say this right off the bat. I think this is a cute movie. I actually kind of recommend it. However, it comes with a big asterisk on the side that says no decisions in this film really make a whole lot of sense.
No. A lot of things happen in this movie.
Uh-huh. And it's fun. to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's enjoyable, but
They
you
don't
get to
make
the
any
end
sense.
of it and you're just kind of like, oh, okay.
Is that the moral?
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, so there's this odd segue where a penguin introduces us to the history of man and how that somehow leads him to the story of talking about Trapito the Scarecrow.
Yeah, so Trapito's a scarecrow, and in the middle of a storm, a bird, a sparrow specifically, almost drowns in, like, the water around him. So he picks him up and sticks him in his pocket and saves the bird's life, which is a thing that scarecrows normally don't do because presumably they don't walk and talk. And also they're supposed to scare away sparrows.
Thanks to the deep lore Patete gave us at the beginning of the film, we know that scarecrows are the mortal enemies of birds. And, like, there's a whole history lesson on scarecrows at the beginning. Like, this is the most awkward segue. I cannot stress this enough.
Either way, the bird's like, hey, you saved my life. We're friends now, and you should just come and go do fun things and live out your dream. And the dude's like, or Trapito's like, but I'm a scarecrow.
I can't go anywhere.
I can't move, and my destiny is to stay here forever and be miserable. And so the bird's like, nah, and pulls him out of the ground by poking him in the butt with, like, a needle or something.
Palping?
I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember the song. He sings a song with his name in it. Palaping, palapoo, palaping, ping, 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 pong, something like that.
Pilla, 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 pong.
Something like that.
I don't know. But it's charming. And then he takes him to local elderbird, and the elderbird measures various moral quandaries within Trapito. Like, is he happy? Yes. Is he smart? Yes. Is he
brave and honorable?
Yes. Does he have any dreams? Absolutely not.
Not a dream in sight.
Yeah, so he's a bright kid going nowhere. And so they decide that the bird is going to be his dream. So he just needs to follow the bird wherever the bird may go. Okay.
Okay.
I thought it was just some sort of, like, awkward translation there, but no, it's literally the bird is your dream. It's an allegory for your dream, but also literally your dream.
Right.
It's weird. So the bird wants to just show him the world and show him all kinds of cool stuff. And the first place they go is a farm run by a large rat man who's a bit of a goof and not a villain.
Yeah, he's super charming. As soon as he came on screen, I was like, oh, he's gonna be like a snivelly rat character, isn't he? But no, he's just like
super
a big,
charming,
doofy farmer guy who's just like super happy about his life as a farmer, and I love him.
He's great.
Yeah.
And he becomes character number 3 of this movie that, like, sticks around. So they have a fun time with him. They sing a song about how farming is great. And then they go to town to sell some cheese, and he sells the cheese for 20 coins, which I can only presume is a big amount. And they go and eat. And while they're there, they eat with their, like, the guy brought his chancha and chanchito, which is his mama pig and his baby pig.
Or like sow and piglet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But while they're there, there's a little crow guy that has an accordion, and he swindles all of the money. Or, like, he distracts them with the song and steals their money. And so, oh no, they can't dine and dash, so the rat has to get a job in town. And
to pay off their dinner bill.
So he gets a job with a woodworker to repair a
pirate's peg leg.
A pirate's peg leg, which he doesn't do any of it, but Trapito and the bird build it.
Sparrow.
Yeah, the sparrow build it for him, easy peasy. And they take it to the guy, but they mix up the package and they give him a piece of meat instead.
Yeah.
So now they're on the pirate ship and they've been thrown in the brig.
I know that this is getting to be kind of a lengthy summary, but really, like, the events of this movie are kind of odd. It's like, you kind of just need to, like, go through them all.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know.
Because
things happen.
We started with a Scarecrow. We started with the history of man. And now we're on a pirate ship.
We're on a pirate ship. All the characters have been taken captive. Like, Trapito's tied to the front, and the others are thrown in the brig. And so they're on this pirate ship, and the pirates want to find a specific place where teardrop-shaped pearls can be found in the ocean.
Yeah, they're looking for treasure, as pirates do.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a mutiny between some of the pirates and the other pirates.
All right.
And in the kerfuffle, the good guys escape, and the rat guy somehow becomes elected.
He gets promoted to, like, first mate.
Yeah, he's promoted to first mate, which... Okay, cool. The good guys don't have to hide anymore. And then they get to the place...
By the way, this movie is also on a deadline because the reason it's really important for Farmer Guy to pay off his bill is because the restaurant owner, the butcher, has kept his sow, has kept his mama pig, and is going to butcher her if he doesn't bring back the money in like a week.
Yeah, so they only have so much time to do this.
When they got captured on the pirate ship, I was really concerned. I'm like, wait, is the mama pig just dead now? Because they got the baby pig with them, and it keeps going like, mama, mama. And I'm just like, oh my god. But no, as of right now, she's still fine. They're they're on a tight deadline.
So they get to the place where the pearls are supposedly located, and so the rat is sent down in a really crappy diving suit, and Trapito goes down because he's made of wood and cloth. He doesn't need to breathe. And so, sure, we go into an underwater world, and we find the pearls are being created by a mermaid.
Who's crying?
Because her boyfriend, the seahorse, was captured by an evil octopus. This movie just keeps going places, and I love it.
You know, I was telling this to Sean when we got to this point in the movie. I'm like, I'm so used to mermaids falling in love with humans that the idea of her boyfriend being a seahorse is, like, really wild.
I mean, she's half fish. Who says she has to fall in love with something with the half human part? She can fall into a half fish part.
Well, I know, but so often it's like some pun where a seahorse is just like a horse. But he's not. He's just like a dude.
He's just a dude like everybody else.
Yeah. It's, like I said, there's certain fish tropes you're used to. Mm-hmm. And this is not one of them.
So, the rat and Trapito, like, trick the octopus into tying himself into knots, and they save the day. And the mermaid gives them each one pearl as like
a thank you.
And so they get back on the ship, and the pirate captain is like, oh my god, there is a lot of treasure down there. So he and his crow sidekick, I forgot to mention, the crow is his sidekick.
Yeah.
They jump into the water, and then they get chased off by the octopus. Very Peter Pan, Captain Hook at the end of the movie style.
There's quite a bit of like slapstick in this movie. It's very lighthearted, and it's got like some cartoon violence, but it's very tame.
Yeah. It like honestly feels like a Looney Tune or something like that without like
not even as
without any of the offensive crap.
Yeah. Well, and not even as like punchy as Looney Tunes.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah. It's still charming. Like, it's very well animated. The character designs are really good. I enjoy the character designs a lot in this film. And the general aesthetic and, like, background paintings are all really nice, too. Like, visually, I have no big complaints with this film.
Yeah. So, the rat is now the captain of the ship. They make it back just in time to save the mama pig from getting butchered. He pays them off with the teardrop pearl, but through shenanigans, the baby pig actually steals it away.
Right.
So the guy didn't even get paid anything.
Nope.
and then they separate ways when they go back to the farm.
Which is so okay. This is where the
hold
movie.
On. Here, let me finish up the story, and then we can get into our complaints about the morality.
The last 2 minutes of the film.
They get to a crossroads. The rat takes the pigs and goes back to his farm, and is sad to part ways with Trapito and the bird. And Trapito's a little bummed about this too. So you'd think that the moral is, oh, well, actually, I'm just going to go with them. We can go hang out at the farm and have a good time forever. But what actually happens is he follows the sparrow, and then the sparrow meets a female bird and just pieces out. He's like, oh, see ya, Trapito. Bye. And
I'll be back later.
Doesn't come back. Trapito, heartbroken that his literal dream has flown away.
His metaphorical and literal dream
has flown away and left him. He goes back to his field and buries himself.
Like, puts his feet back in the ground.
Well, yeah. Like, he replants himself in the ground. Old Birdman comes along and is like, what are you doing here? And he's like, my dream left me. I have nothing to live for again. And the bird's like, oh, well, don't worry. Dreams will fly back. Just give it time. And so, like, half a year happens.
By the way, there's also, like, this... It's a pretty good song. The song that sings the main character's name is, like, super sad. And it's just, like, dissing on our... Trapito.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's, like, dissing on our main character the whole time. It's just like, oh, man, what a stupid Scarecrow for not having any dreams. Just like, ouch!
So lo and behold, like half a year passes, and here comes the stupid sparrow back with his new wife and his 12 children, and they uproot Trapito and they go on their merry way.
The end.
The end. What the hell was that last 2 minutes?
That was so unnecessary. It made the whole experience just kind of really unsatisfying.
Yeah, it makes you question what was the point of literally anything else that happened in this movie.
Well, yeah, because, like, okay, Trapito's the main character, but, like, doesn't really do a whole lot.
I mean, he comes along. That being said, he is the one that actually solves all the problems. He's the one that makes the peg leg. He's the one that tricks the octopus. The rat doesn't actually do a whole lot. So he's the smart one that fixes everything, but he doesn't have a lot of control over the situations he's in.
Yeah. I should rephrase that. He does a lot. He does the most out of anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
However, none of that is there to progress his growth as a character. And, like, the movie is like, oh, wow, Trapito is great, except he doesn't have any dreams. And then we proceed to have a movie where Trapito's identity and Trapito is barely the focus of what's going on.
Yep.
It's about everybody else, and Trapito just comes in and fixes their problems. And then, when he is given a choice to decide his own destiny, the movie's like, no, he doesn't get to choose. He has to follow the bird. And then the bird ditches him. And it's not framed as like, oh, well, maybe Trapito should figure things out for himself.
No, he just
has to wait for the bird to come back.
Yeah, he just gets depressed again, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
So the moral of the movie, as it stands, is...
I'm so confused.
If you have a dream, everyone has a dream, but if your dream leaves you, give it some time and it'll come back to you, and you can re-follow that dream, which in itself
is not a bad message.
Yeah, it's not a bad message. Nothing about this movie is talking about that message, though, other than the very end. In fact, the movie is more so building up an idea that you don't, like, it should have been something where the bird screws off and, like, never comes back. Mm-hmm. Ever. He just leaves. Because, honestly, he's such a minor character after uprooting Trapito.
Yeah.
He does next to nothing.
Yeah.
He should have just left, and Trapito should have been, you know what? I can make my own dreams.
Right.
And my dream is to live on the farm with the rat guy and the pigs and be happy.
Right.
Which is what it obviously was leading to.
Right.
And, like, they could have easily put some, like, more opposition with what the sparrow is doing every now and again throughout the movie to, like, build up to that more.
Uh-huh.
And, like, it's just a couple of rewrites there and they could have done that
Right.
pretty easily. But instead they went with this out of left field moral that
Well, yeah.
I don't
it's
understand.
Something that's like, it just happens in the last 2 minutes and it's so rushed and unsatisfying and ill-explored, I guess is what I'm going to say here, that it feels kind of like a slap in the face. Like, really? Is that how you're going to end this?
Yeah, but, like, again, the rest of the movie is enjoyable to watch. There was not a moment in this movie watching it that I didn't feel engaged with what was going on.
Yeah, like so many of these films, even ones that, we've liked, I've been kind of bored watching quite a few of them. Because, we do this a lot, and after so many versions of 1001 Arabian Nights,
you start to check out.
Yeah, you start to check out a little bit. But like, yeah, like you said, I was engaged watching this movie, and it was a fun time. I would recommend it up until the last, 2 to 3 minutes. But it is kind of a confusing film all around. Generally, I just kind of wrote that, it's a confusing mess, but it's cute, but also that ending. It's got a lot of problems, but it definitely has its own merits.
Yes. And I think that just about sums it up. I do want to say thank you, Rapa, for finding this movie for us. We had someone find the film.
Didn't they also translate it?
I don't know if they translated it or if they just led us to a place where there was subtitles that we could find it. I don't remember specifically. The way it was implied, they did not translate it, but I could be incorrect about that.
All right. Well, either way, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for finding that for us because, again, it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, quite a bit.
All right. And I know it's happened a couple of times here in 1975 where the movie we announced at the end is not the movie we're going to watch. But I double-checked the next one, and we are for sure, probably, 95% sure, we're going to be watching Dick Deadeye or Duty Done from England.
All right. Cool.
It's based on musicals.
All right. All right.
We'll have to see what this is about.
Yeah. See you then.